The Starfish Designer is found at designer.starfishetl.com. If you've never used the Starfish Designer before, you'll have to register for a new account. If you already have an account, you can just log in. Your first time logging in, you'll see a screen just like this. The first thing you'll need to do is create a new project. Once you've created a new project, the General tab will update with some more information. Your custom engine settings and variables, SMTP settings, as well as project notes. These are project-wide settings and variables that apply to your entire project. If you were to add a job to this project, the General tab updates with even more information specific to the job, job-specific notes, as well as your current job ID and job chaining. If you have multiple jobs in a project, you can chain your jobs together. This allows you to have jobs run one after the other. For example, if you're migrating accounts first, you can have it then start to migrate your contact automatically when the account job finishes. This is very useful for integrations and often very long migrations where you just want one job to pick up when the previous one ends. Once we have a job, we're going to want to set up the connection for that job. I can do that by clicking on the Connections button up here. And the first thing I would do is manage my connections. From here, I would want to create new connections to point to my origin and destination. For example, here I have my source, sugar.starfishetl.com, is using the Sugar Serum REST connector. I can give it a name, set in the login credentials and test that. Test completed successfully. And then my destination connection. Now, of course, you can use the same origin and destination connection if you're trying to update data within the same system. But normally, your origin and destination will be two different systems. Once I have my connection set up, I can jump back to my job and set up the connection specific to that job. For example, for my origin, I could choose one of my previously saved connections. I must select a table first. Let's do that. Looks like we have 15 accounts in my origin. I could then set my destination to my destination connection, and it'll bring up settings for the connector I'm using. Test connection successful. Once I've set up my connections, I would want to proceed to my mapping. And I would have to create stages for my job. For example, in this one, I would be migrating accounts. So I would manage my stages, click on New Stage, and let's call this Upsert Accounts. Stage type is update/insert. Table is going to go into accounts, and I will save that. Now I can jump back to my mappings and hit Upsert Accounts here. That brings me to my Mappings tab. I could map my fields. If I was going from sugar to sugar, I could match on ID. And this would allow me to, if I'm migrating from one sugar to the other, I could say, I want to migrate this account But if I've already run this account once, let's just update the one I've already pushed out there. I could then set up the name, mapping those fields. If I wanted to, I could use the auto map, and if you're running from the same system connector to the same system connector, you're going to find a lot of those. Once I have these two fields mapped, and I of course have to select at least one as a match simply because I'm running an update type statement, whether it's update or update insert, I could then come to my preview and click preview first row. It's going to show me all of my origin row data. I can then see the destination stage results. It's pushing in the ID, it found a match, so it's running an update, and it's setting the name equal to Technology Advisors. And I could, of course, view the log of everything it's done. Once I'm satisfied with my results, I can actually run the job. If I'm doing testing, I normally just end after one row and start that job. And then I would check to make sure everything went correctly with that one row. I could potentially get rid of that and just run all of my rows.